didn't know what I was doing. I had 200 employees, and I'm like totally stressed. But I'm financially, I'm fine. But that didn't matter. I literally wanted to hang up my suit and walk away.
Yeah.
But because entrepreneurs don't understand, or at least the unsuccessful ones, to become successful, you have to learn that you can't do it all yourself. You can't be the smartest. You can't be the best in everything. You can't do sales. You can't do marketing. You can't do legal. You can't do accounting. You can't do everything. So the key to growth, and I learned this quickly, is hire the best and get out of the way.
Yeah.
Right, literally. So this is how our agency has grown from 3 employees to over 200 right now, is because we hire the best. I don't know how to media buy. I have the best media buyers. I don't know how to do videos on TikTok. We have the best creators. So so on and so forth.
Well, the reality is, if you're the CEO in the boardroom and you're the smartest person in there, you've got the wrong team of people.
Exactly.
Because now you're having to lead and teach everyone, as opposed to them bringing their assets to the table and hiring the best people for the job. It's crazy. I'm on the school board here locally, and I'm working with the superintendent, and she's almost bragging that she's working over hours over her contract. And I'm looking at that going, well, that's a negative, because either you're not efficient or you're not qualified for the job because you're taking too long to do it. So we're going to look at doing an efficiency test on the way the school's running. And it's a very good point that you make, bringing great people to the table. Let's talk about Maxi Medium, what you guys are doing over there and what makes you stand out amongst the clutter out there. And I hate to call it clutter, but I've been in marketing most of my life. There's marketing companies everywhere, but there's a few that really stand out.
Well, I think we stand out because we were able to crack TikTok. So Jim, you probably do social media marketing. You probably know that Facebook is not an easy, not an easy platform to deal with. It's an easy platform to buy on, but not an easy company to deal with. So literally 2 years ago, they shut us down. They literally put us out of commission, and we had to scramble. And just so happened that TikTok was, their ad platform was just launching. So, we had our payrolls about $150,000 a month, and our revenue was zero at the time. So we had to scramble and figure out the platform. So now, we built a tech stack that allows for us to recruit, train, manage. About right now, we're over 125 creators that are just creating videos all day long. So it's kind of like the gig economy. We've enabled that to happen on TikTok. So we're churning out about 400 to 600 ads on a daily basis, and our media buyers are busy with launching these creatives, day after day. So that I think the fact that we're the number one spender by far in Canada on the platform, and top 10 in the US, I think that kind of helps us stand out amongst the pack on that platform.
So is there still opportunities to have a voice on TikTok, or has it grown so fast that, we've kind of missed that boat?
Absolutely not. I think there's opportunities for creators, for influencers, for agencies, and there's a huge opportunity in the e-com space because nobody's cracked it yet. Nobody's cracked how to market e-commerce on TikTok. So there's a massive opportunity right there. So when the first person does, I mean, we're this close, but then there's huge opportunities. So yes, there's plenty. The growth is I think it's endless.
Yeah. Why did TikTok take off when Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat all have their video version applications within those programs, and we're already on those? Why did we all say, hey, well, not me yet, but why is everybody going, hey, we got to be on TikTok?
Well, I think it caters to the Gen Z perfectly, right? So if you look at it, I think now 60 to 70% of the clientele, or the users of the app, are Gen Z. It used to be 100, now it's skewing older every day. But I think the short format, the 15-second video or the 7-second video, the catchy tunes, the trendy aspects of the platform, definitely attracts the Gen Z. So that's why I think it's grown from there. And then parents want to see what their kids are doing. So
So, and I, this interview is not all about TikTok, but I'm so curious, and you guys are one of the largest spenders in Canada. Um, you know, are your advertisers? They're looking for Gen Zs. Obviously, that's why they're
absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of limited on the amount of brands that are going to be advertising on TikTok until that demographic gets a little bit older, if you will.
No. Well, like I said, the it's skewing older every day, right? So you
Yeah.
still have a pretty, I mean, 100 million users a day, and I would have to say about 40% is skewing older. So, like for example, we're tackling the loans or personal loan vertical right now, and that's a bit older in demographic, and we're totally crushing it there as well.
Mm.
So you can do, if you want to focus on an older demographic. Facebook for sure is better. Instagram is better, but TikTok is skewing older every day. So
Yeah. So we have a number of entrepreneurs that listen to this show of all types, and I often get social media questions and inquiries. Who do we go to? If I was a potential client of Maxi Media, what would be your pitch, and what are some of the things that you can do for me as an entrepreneur with your company?
well, I mean, first we're performance based, so we're taking opportunities like in big verticals that we can generate a ton of traffic to. So for example, education is huge for us. Lending is huge, finance, personal finance, insurance. So we're not normally taking on specific brands, but if I were a brand out there and I were looking for somebody to work with me on TikTok, I would definitely look for their ability to um, have a team of creators that can create UGCs on demand, and a UGC is user generated content. So it's a video in the feed that looks exactly like it's just a normal, Jane or Joe putting a video on the platform. So it's user generated content that looks native to the platform, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd look for somebody that can do that. Look for somebody like us that might have a solid team, variety of advertisers and creators.
Hmm. I'll tell you a funny story real quick. Friday night, we spend a lot of time with our kids. We try to have fun. We have little living room dance parties and stuff, right? So Dad's got a couple cocktails in him, and he says, "Hey kids, let's learn how to do this TikTok dance together." We watch too much of it. So the kids and wife are in the kitchen, and we got the video up. We're trying to learn how to do one of these TikTok dances. I tell you what, man, my feet were sore for 3 days afterward. I'm like, I don't know how they do this, and I failed miserably, by the way. But my 5 and 7 year old, they're awesome at it, and we just had some fun. So I did fall victim to these TikTok videos that are going on out there.
Well, one thing I'll have to caution you, I actually have a funny story around that, but is the content that you potentially could see on the platform. So
Yeah.
I would kind of safeguard your kids from that. So it's funny. I launched the book at a conference called Igniting Souls, and it's a Christian-based event, and it's about authors. It's for authors and would-be authors, and teaching them how to write a book. So I brought one of my top creators with me, and her TikTok is incredibly massive. And then so the founder of the event, he said, "Hey, do you mind if I get your creator up on stage, because TikTok is all the buzz right now, and she's got over 500,000 followers on the platform."
Mm-hmm.
And so she was doing a Q&A, and one of the users, or one of the clients, asked, "Hey, can we get your TikTok handle?" And then I was like, "No way, you can't. This is a Christian based, no, 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 no." So anyway, so I guess the learning from that is you just watch what type of content you're consuming, or your kids, because it might not always be appropriate.
Yeah,
So
that's actually a good question. So you're referring to algorithm. So if I'm
that's
watching
right.
only TikTok dance videos, that's what they're going to feed me more of,
That's
right?
correct. That is
Yeah.
correct.
Isn't that
But you
amazing?
may get a few that slip in there that may not be appropriate for you. So
Yeah, definitely not the ones I want to be watching. So, just to kind of wrap up a few things. I was looking at some of the Q&A that your publicist sent over. The question on there is luck just a fluke, or is it a formula? And we talked a little bit about your book, but answer that question for me because it's interesting.
So I'm going to tell you that luck is not a fluke; it's a formula. And if you stack and I got a couple stories around that, but if you stack the odds in your favor, great things are going to happen. You're going to increase your success ratio, if you will. So I'm heavy into, so story around that is I'm heavy into biohacking or health and nutrition, working out. So I don't know if you know Dave Asprey.
No.
And so Dave Asprey he's the biohacker, original biohacker out there.
Mm-hmm.
And biohacking is all about optimizing your health and optimizing your longevity. So I was at his event 3 weeks ago in Orlando, and it just so happens that I'm at the event, and I'm sitting down at lunch, and a woman sits right to my left, and we start talking. And I said, her name is Kim. I said, oh, Kim, what do you do? She says, well, I'm the president of the Buffalo Sabres. I'm like, wow, that's awesome. A woman who's president of a sports team. Amazing. And then we get to talking even more. And it turns out she's also the president of the Buffalo Bills football team.
Oh,
I'm like, wow, that's even more
that would have been a better
amazing.
lead.
Right. So then I looked down at her name, and her name is Kim Pagula. I'm like, well, you're not only the president, you're also the owner of both teams as well. So from that point, I after that lunch, I called my top creators and I said, listen, I need videos marketing the Buffalo Bills to Gen Z, because one thing she had told me is that the Buffalo Bills have a problem in that their clientele, or their not their target market, but their most of their clientele is 50-year-old white males.
Uh-huh.
So I said, listen, you need to market to Gen Z. So I had my team whip up 7 videos of marketing to Gen Z by the Buffalo Bills, and I gave them to her. So we're potentially going to get that account, but the point is, was I lucky to be sitting next to her, or did I stack the odds in my favor to potentially get the Buffalo Bills as a client? And I say I stacked the odds. I got into biohacking. I sprung for that event. I went to the event. I talk to people on a regular basis. I'm not shy. So I believe I stacked the odds in my favor to potentially get the Buffalo Bills as a client.
Yeah.
That's kind of an example.
Well, I believe in that as well, because if you're not out there hitting the pavement, putting yourself in these positions to meet people or meet potential customers or expand your network, you're not going to gain the success that you're looking for. You're not going to find it behind your desk. I've worked with so many salespeople over the last 30 years, and you've got the ones that'll sit behind their desk all day and do busy work on their computer and build a presentation for 6 months to present to 2 clients, and that's all you do. Or you got the guy that's out all day, every day, grinding away. Actually, it's typically the women in the sales that are crushing it because they're not afraid to be out there, getting in the mix. So yeah, I completely, wholeheartedly see exactly what you're talking about in the formula. I do think that there might be a little speck of luck on the tail end, or really what you've manifested has come to fruition in your actions, right?
Absolutely. So the formula itself is internal conditions plus external conditions plus action equals luck.
Mm-hmm.
And if you master yourself internally through various ways that I go over in the book, if you master yourself externally plus you add action, then you're going to generate luck. So
it's interesting. I worked with Bill Walton for a number of years, 8 to be exactly, right? Oh. And we did a lot of speaking engagements for a tequila company that we co-owned. And he always said, Jim, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I'm the luckiest man. He always used that word luck. But what I recognize about Bill is that he was the hardest working man off the court as he was on. And that there's nothing to do with luck. It's exactly what we're talking about. He worked to put himself in that position. He just chalked it off because it was fun to say, I'm the luckiest man in the world. But that
it's
man
also,
works.
Jim, the story he tells himself. So maybe because my last name means lucky, maybe I always felt I was lucky my whole life, right?
Yeah.
So, Bill's telling himself he's lucky. So he is lucky.
That's right.
It's narrative. Narrative is part of your internal conditions. So if you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, I'm going to have a bad day. Oh, woe is me. What do you think is going to happen? But if you have your daily routine and you tell yourself your affirmations, how great you are, how great your life is, you're going to have a better chance of success that way. So
yeah. Hey, I'm doing a little research for myself. When you meet somebody new, we always, hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm so busy. Right? I'm so busy. What's your response when somebody asks you how you're doing? Maybe it's an old friend. Do you use the "I'm so busy" or do you've got a creative way? I'm being productive.
I say amazing.
Yeah.
Life, everything's great.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah. Well, this day and age, we're all so busy. I've been trying to gear away from using that terminology, but because are you busy or are you being productive? I feel like I'm being productive.
You're being productive. And if you learn how to not do the entrepreneur's dilemma and delegate, then you're not going to be as busy as other people say they are.
That's right. Well, I know we probably could talk about 10 or 20 different topics other than what we've talked about today, but we'll save that for another show. Mark, I appreciate your time. Now, you mentioned earlier you might have a little giveaway for my listeners.
Yeah, sure. I've got a free gift for your listeners. They can get their lucky score. So I've got a quiz, and you can find the quiz at theluckyformula.com/quiz.
Yep.
Again, it's theluckyformula.com/quiz. walton.com/quiz, and it'll give you